The Ford Pinto. Case Foundation. The Ford Pinto was a subcompact car that started production in 1970. The main issue with the Pinto was the placement of the gas tank, which was located less than 6 inches from the rear bumper. This made the car very susceptible to explosions and fires in the event of rear-end collision. The first official case against Ford was in 1972, where Ford Pinto was in a rear-end collision and the Pinto burst into flames, killing 3 teenage girls. This was only the first of many collisions killing passengers, and it took until 1974 for the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration to officially recall the Pinto. Primary ethical issue. The ethical issue lies in the fact that Ford found it cheaper to deal with the cases that arose from the collisions instead of fixing the actual issue. The Pinto was crash tested, and the test showed that the gas tank would rupture in a rear-end collision, even at low speeds. The problem is that Ford decided that instead of paying $11 per car to fix the issue, they would instead settle any lawsuits in court. Professional Code of Ethics. For this case, I found that the American Society of Mechanical Engineers had a code of ethics that applies well. Under fundamental principles, engineers should uphold and advance the integrity, honor, and dignity of the engineering profession by using their knowledge and skill for the enhancement of human welfare. Under Fundamental Canon, Section 1, engineers shall hold paramount the safety, health, and welfare of the public in the performance of their professional duties. Code of Ethics applied. Ford crash tested the Pinto and found that the gas tank would easily rupture in a rear-end collision. Even though Ford knew about the issue, they still decided to sell the car. This violates the fundamental principles and the fundamental canons because engineers are supposed to enhance human welfare and hold paramount the safety of the public. And by releasing the Pinto, Ford is not enhancing human welfare, and they were putting the public in more danger by having the car on the road. Ethical theories. Under deontological ethics, which is defined as ethical theories that emphasize a relation between morality of actions as well as your duty, there is mere means, which is defined as using something or someone exclusively for your own benefit without thinking about the interests or benefit of the thing or person being used. Under ethics of care, which is defined as having an obligation to weigh the effects of decisions on people who you have a relationship with, there is duty of care, which is legal obligation. Deontological argument. Ford chose to not fix the placement of the gas tank, and Ford just wanted to save money by dealing with court cases. Therefore, according to deontological ethics, Ford was unethical in not fixing the Pinto due to mere means. In this case, Ford used the people involved in accidents with the Pinto as a mere means to save money instead of fixing the car. Counter-argument for deontological ethics. I used autonomy, which is defined as each person has a right to make their own decisions about their life. So under autonomy, you could argue that after the first accident, people may have known about the dangers of the car but still chose to drive it. So Ford would be ethical if people knew about the problem with the car and still chose to drive it. Ethics of care. Ford had an obligation to make the cars safe for the customers. Ford crash tested the Pinto and knew about the problem with the gas tank. Therefore, according to ethics of care, Ford was unethical in not fixing the Pinto under duty of care because Ford had a legal obligation to make their cars safe. Counter-argument for ethics of care. Under cost-benefit analysis, you could argue that Ford was ethical in not fixing the placement of the fuel tank because it was cheaper for the company to take care of the cases in court. And these are my references.